Morning, this is Mr. Melendez, and I'll be performing a read aloud of Civil War Station Number 5, African American Contributions. Let's start with the focus question. What were the contributions of African Americans during the Civil War? Not allowed to fight. It may seem only natural for us today that African Americans would have fought on the side of the North in the Civil War. After all, they would have been fighting for their freedom and the end of slavery. However, despite wanting to end slavery, people in the North did not want African Americans to become part of the Army. Even President Lincoln was afraid that the border states would secede if he allowed former slaves to fight in the war. African American soldiers joined the Army. Some abolitionists, such as Frederick Douglass, urged the African Americans should be allowed to fight. As the war continued, the North needed more able-bodied men to fight. In early 1863, the Union decided to officially allow African Americans to join the Army. White and black soldiers would still be in separate regiments, and black regiments would have white officers. The first black regiments. The 1st Black Regiment played an important role. Many white people believed that the former slaves would not be brave enough to fight in battle. The 1st Black Regiments proved them wrong. They fought with courage and bravery in the face of gunfire and death. 2 of the 1st African American regiments fought under General Nathaniel Banks at the Battle of Port Hudson. General Banks would later praise them over their valor and character. The courage to fight. It took a lot of courage for any soldier to fight in the Civil War, but it was even more dangerous for black soldiers. If black soldiers were captured by the Confederates while fighting for the Union, they were executed or sold back into slavery. The Confederates also executed any captured white officers of black regiments. One of the most famous black regiments was the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. Their story was told in the award-winning 1989 movie Glory. Their most famous battle was when they led the Union charge on Fort Wagner. They lost around 40% of their troops, including their commander, Colonel Robert Shaw. However, their bravery was an inspiration to all Union troops, especially other black regiments. More African American soldiers. As the war continued, more black soldiers enlisted to fight for the North. They became a major part of the Union armed forces. By the end of the war, around 180,000 African Americans have fought, making a major difference and helping the North to win the war. Now that you're done with the read aloud, go ahead and scroll down to the last page. In this last page, it's titled Civil War African American Contributions Short Response. You are tasked with writing a short response. Tell us how African Americans contributed to the Civil War. Besides using the Google Slides and the above document I just read for you, you may use outside resources or information to assist you with your short response. Here's the short response question. What were several ways African Americans contributed to this war effort? So here are some bullet points to consider when you're writing your short response. Use information presented in Google Slides and the above document when writing your short response. Your response should have at least one paragraph minimum. Each paragraph should have at least 4 to 6 sentences minimum. Use the ACE writing strategy to assist you in your reflection. Remember the ACE strategy. Answer the question, cite evidence, and explain your evidence. Write your response inside the text box below. You have 2 sentence starters that can help you start with your written response. The first one is one example African Americans contributed to the Civil War was, and then you fill in the rest. Or you can use this sentence starter. African Americans provided many contributions towards the Civil War effort by, and then continue with the rest on your own. Remember to go ahead and cite your evidence and write your short response inside this text box. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of the read aloud for Civil War Station Number 5, African American Contributions. This is Mr. Melendez. Have a good day.